tonight. Shots fired in Flamborough.
We've had very little cooperation with members of the public who were in attendance at this event.
A gathering gone wrong.
They are currently in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries.
The push for people who attended the event to come forward. Plus, big changes for Cambridge City Council.
Well, it's a radical change in the way the municipal governments are being structured in this province.
The shock and surprise for staff as the new structure takes fold. And striking the right beat.
It's really fun. I like the percussion.
The rhythmical ring.
We have kids from grade 1 to grade 12.
As Kitchener-Waterloo's band camp gets set to take the stage and showcase their talent. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. A major gathering turns violent in Flamborough. One person is in hospital with serious injuries after an early morning shooting at a home on Highway 6. Let's go to CTV's Colton Weens live for more on this. Colton, police say this happened at a rental property.
Yeah, that's right, Leanne. Hamilton police say it happened at a short-term rental property on Highway 6 near Concession Road 6 West in Flamborough. No suspects' information is available, but police say some kind of event or party was happening, and they're trying to speak with people who attended. Hamilton police investigating at this short-term rental home on Highway 6 in Flamborough after one person was shot early Sunday morning and taken to hospital with serious injuries.
They are currently in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries.
The shooting happened around 3:20 Sunday morning. Police say around 200 to 300 people were attending an event on the property, but investigators are struggling to get any information from people who attended.
At this point, we unfortunately don't have the ability to provide any suspect description or vehicle description as well.
Earlier on Saturday night, Hamilton police say two people allegedly opened fire on a vehicle near Barton Street East and Harmony Avenue around 7:30. One person was seriously hurt, and police believe it may have been targeted, but don't think it was related to the shooting Sunday morning.
There is nothing that leads us to believe that this shooting is connected to the one earlier that evening.
While police are still trying to piece together what happened at the event on Sunday, it is the same property where a 45-year-old Halton Region man was fatally shot last year. Police don't believe this current investigation has any relation to last year's shooting, but say anytime guns are used in the community, it's a concern for the public.
Anybody who's using these firearms in the commission of an offense is not concerned, or they're not taking the time to consider what's going to happen once they pull that trigger. So this particular incident we believe to be targeted specific to the event that was there. However, at this time, there are no suspects in custody, and the firearms used are still outstanding.
The rental property no longer appears on major rental sites. Police say they are considering working with community partners to try and prevent future situations like this.
Whether it's beyond enforcement action, we're certainly considering all of our options to ensure that our community members feel safe and that this doesn't happen again.
Now, police are also asking people in the area to check their security or dash cam footage, urging anyone with information to contact them or Crime Stoppers. Leanne.
Okay, Colton, thanks very much. CTV's Colton Weens reporting live for us this hour. Some relief from the heat for everyone here in Waterloo Region today. Let's head over to Alexandra Pinto live in studio. Alex, I think everyone was happy that there was a bit of a breeze out there when you stepped outside this morning.
Oh yeah, a bit of a breath of fresh air, if you will, especially after that heat event we saw over the weekend. So hopefully maybe you had a friend or family member who had a pool, or you had a chance to take the kids to the splash pad. It was definitely a busy place by our house and a popular spot to be. So yes, noticeably a bit cooler out there today, which again, a nice welcome relief, especially if you had an early morning walk with the pup. But for us, we're just seeing a bit of mixing of the cloud cover as well as some sunshine for us here, which isn't too bad. It's quite comfortable to be outside out there this evening. Right now we're sitting at 22 degrees. If you are by the water, slightly cooler. 21 in London, 18 in Mount Forest. So if you do have plans to maybe be on vacation this week and you're heading up north, slightly cooler there today. But with that humidex feeling closer to 28 degrees. So not even that 30 mark, and over the weekend we were feeling like we were in the 40s. So yes, again, welcome relief, but we could see a little bit of wet weather, or a chance for some wet weather to roll in this week. So we're going to break that all down in your full forecast, Leanne.
Okay, we probably need a little bit of rain.
I think so.
Alex, thanks. Hard to believe Canada Day was just over a week ago. Now, Waterloo Regional Police are sharing details around arrests and charges laid during the festivities. Officers responded to a variety of disturbances, including noise complaints, trespassing, and public intoxication. For more on the Canada Day wrap-up, we go to CTV's Karis Map. Karis, how many arrests were made Tuesday?
Leanne, regional officers made 2 arrests related to fireworks and issued 5 warnings. Police say the majority of the incidents they responded to were in Kitchener. Canada Day once again saw an unsanctioned gathering at Kitchener's Victoria Park where police seized fireworks from multiple youths. A 17-year-old was arrested there for carrying a noxious substance. He was later charged with possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. The other arrest made was in relation to a robbery on Monday. Police say a group of teenage males tried to steal fireworks from a Kitchener business, assaulting an employee during their getaway. A 17-year-old boy was arrested Tuesday and charged with attempted theft under $5,000. Regional police didn't give a price for additional resources, but City of Kitchener officials say that roughly $20,000 was spent for extra staff required for Canada Day, including 29 bylaw officers who monitored festivities across the city. Leanne.
Okay, Karis, thanks for that. CTV's Karis Map on the Canada Day wrap-up. A 36-year-old man is facing a number of charges, including impaired driving, after striking a pedestrian and several parked vehicles in Toronto last night. 6 people, including the pedestrian, were taken to hospital as a result of the incident. CTV's Sean Leathong has more.
Chaos and confusion in the aftermath of a collision involving multiple vehicles. A pedestrian struck, and eyewitnesses saying one driver, seen here in a black car, came speeding into the area, police alleging he was impaired.
I heard some banging sound, and we were sitting right there.
60 zone, and this guy was doing about 140.
This loud bang that just continued on. The car came on Passmore Avenue and then hit multiple cars along the way. And the debris, you can still see the debris are still sitting over there.
It was just after 9:15 on Sunday evening when, according to police, the driver of a black Acura was moving westbound on Passmore Avenue in Scarborough towards Middlefield Road. The vehicle slamming into several others and one woman.
And then ran across the curb, jumped on top of the curb, and hit multiple cars on that direction too. Then he fled on foot.
Witnesses described the driver as having been disoriented with blood on his shirt before taking off. Police apprehended the man in a nearby park. Syed Abbas was back at the scene today trying to fix the tire damage on his car. He says that at the time of the crash, the area was busy with a number of Shiite Muslims celebrating Ashura. But he says earlier in the day, thousands were here and the streets were packed.
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been because, you know what, like just a couple of hours early, I couldn't even imagine because there was just people walking everywhere over here.
In total, 10 vehicles were directly or indirectly involved. 6 people were treated for non-life-threatening injuries, including a 45-year-old female pedestrian who was struck by the car.
You know, I was in shock for that 30 seconds, didn't even know what was going on. I was concerned about the well-being of my kid, who was walking on the grass.
In the aftermath, a tire from the Acura lay on the road, debris scattered across several meters while police investigated. 36-year-old Kareem Muhammad of Markham is facing charges of dangerous operation of a motor vehicle while impaired, 2 counts of fail to stop at the scene of an accident, and possession of a weapon.
And that was CTV's Sean Leathong. One person is fighting for their life in hospital following a crash on the 407 this morning. Police say a car rear-ended a transport truck in the eastbound lanes near Mississauga Road just before 5 a.m. The driver of the vehicle was taken to hospital in critical condition, while the driver of the truck was not hurt. The highway was closed for several hours for the investigation, but has since reopened. Ontario Premier Doug Ford was in Alberta today to sign a memorandum of agreement to boost trade and cooperation. But as more interprovincial trade barriers come down, there is some skepticism about whether these agreements are the answer. CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
Free trade being one within all the provinces that will add over $200 billion to our economy.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford touting the potential of Canada-wide free trade after signing new agreements with Alberta to advance energy infrastructure and support the automotive and alcohol manufacturing sectors.
Today's signing marks an historic partnership founded in a mutual ambition to reach the full potential of our provinces.
This deal is the latest in a series of policy moves made in recent months to try and limit the damage caused by U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war by breaking down interprovincial trade barriers. Though a new report out today from a left-leaning think tank argues that the notion that resolving such issues could lead to more than $200 billion in economic gains is pure fantasy. One of its authors cautions the cost of cutting this red tape could result in a race to the bottom for safety and service standards.
I think Canadians need to be wary, and they need to be cautious anytime they see a government saying they're doing something to respond to a national emergency, right?
Meanwhile, one of the authors of the report where the $200 billion estimate originated acknowledged politicians have overstated his estimate.
It's also an estimate that we put forward that represents the maximum possible gains from fully eliminating all of the internal trade barriers in Canada, which so far no government has put anything on the table to actually achieve that objective.
Today, Internal Trade Minister Chrystia Freeland's office said the federal government knows there's more work to do. And that work will continue tomorrow when the ministers responsible for internal trade from each province and territory meet in Quebec City. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
In Texas, an urgent search is underway for survivors after more than 90 people were killed in deadly flash flooding. Among them, dozens of children and their counselors at a Christian summer camp. As CTV's Adrian Gobriel tells us, Washington is being criticized for a slow response to the impending danger.
As the search for survivors intensifies, the full scale of this deadly disaster is coming into focus. This footage shares a glimpse of just some of the 850 life and death high water rescues that took place. Hundreds of state and federal first responders and more than a dozen canine units are on the ground, including volunteers on foot and horseback.
If it was my babies, I'd want somebody looking, so that's why I'm here.
Dozens of children have been confirmed dead, with another 10 campers and one counselor, as of this morning, still missing from Camp Mystic, a Christian girls' camp.
I've lost near friends, best friends, my boss, my godchildren, my house, my car.
The camp, perched along the Guadalupe River, saw floodwaters rise 8 meters in just 45 minutes. 2 hours north in Kingsland, Texas, this time-lapse shows just how quickly floodwaters rose.
You know that your child is going to be swimming and canoes and horseback riding and doing archery and making lifetime friends. And then suddenly it turns to tragedy.
With the National Weather Service saying their flood warnings were timely and accurate, questions about weather alerts reached those most at risk remain, with the mayor of Kerrville, Texas, admitting he never received one.
Everyone here, if we could have warned them, we would have done so. And we didn't even have a warning. We did not know.
The city manager of Kerrville asked today why an evacuation order wasn't issued.
It's very tough to make those calls because what we also don't want to do is cry wolf.
An answer that will bring little comfort to those who've lost so much.
With the U.S. president signing a major disaster declaration for Carroll County, Texas, Federal Emergency Management Agency resources have been deployed as ongoing discussions to close down FEMA are still taking place, according to a White House spokesperson today. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Washington.
And a reminder to start your day in the know with our CTV News Kitchener newsletter. Get the best local content from CTV News straight to your inbox. We've got today's top stories, Alex's weather forecast, and must-see videos all in one place. You can sign up now at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Still ahead, think twice before leaving your pet in a hot vehicle. The reminder from regional police after they say they've received dozens of calls related to the matter so far this summer.
I'm Jeff Pickle. A big shakeup at the city of Cambridge. The mayor is sending out a letter to all staff with new departments and new job titles, but why one expert says he's concerned. That story is just ahead.
Comfortable conditions to kick off the work week. I'll let you know when we could see a chance for some showers coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
There has been a major shakeup at the city of Cambridge. In a letter that went out to staff Friday, Mayor Jan Liggett announced a new corporate structure at the city, including new departments and new job titles for senior leaders. The news came as a complete surprise to city council and to staff. The changes coming into effect today. CTV's Jeff Pickle joins us live with more on this. Jeff, typically a change this big does not come out of nowhere like this.
Well, Leanne, several members of city council we heard from say they were not involved in this at all and really had no idea it was coming. According to the letter sent to all staff at the end of last week, the decision was made by the mayor along with some members of senior leadership, and an expert we spoke with says that's a problem. Beginning today, the city of Cambridge will transition to a new corporate structure. The previous 4 departments, corporate services, community development, corporate enterprise, and infrastructure services, will become customer and financial services, planning and growth, infrastructure services, corporate services, and community services. The people running these departments will no longer be deputy city managers, but will now be general managers, although it's unclear what the difference will be. In the email, Mayor Liggett saying the changes were all about improving the city. It reads, "I am undertaking a thoughtful, comprehensive reorganization of our internal structure and services. This means faster, clear, and more consistent service across all departments and divisions." Catching many off guard was the timing. The all-staff email going out Friday with the change starting on Monday. It was also a decision that was not made by council, with councillors left in the dark until the email was sent.
Well, it's a radical change in the way the municipal governments are being structured in this province.
Retired political science professor Peter Wollstonecraft says he is troubled by a major decision made without consulting council.
What do we need to address? What can we do to structure ourselves to make the highest quality, the best grounded decisions? This is very much a closed arrangement, as far as I can tell.
Wollstonecraft worries there's too much power concentrated in the mayor's office.
Now we're putting more power in the hands of a few, particularly the mayor, and even kings can get things wrong.
It's unclear if the changes will have any budget impact or financial implications. We reached out to the mayor's office for comment and are scheduled to speak with Mayor Liggett tomorrow. And speaking with people today at the city, more a sense of confusion over why the changes are happening and why they were not told until 2 days before the transition was going to start. Again, we are speaking with Mayor Liggett tomorrow and hope to get more of those answers. Leanne.
Okay, Jeff, thanks very much. CTV's Jeff Pickle. As of today, a part of Ottawa Street in Kitchener is closed, and it'll remain that way until November. It's part of the effort to change the intersection into a roundabout. Ottawa Street South from Westmount Road to Pinedale Drive is impacted. Drivers will be able to detour through Fisher-Hallman Road. Businesses in the area told CTV News they aren't happy about the pylons and roadblocks, indicating it's causing confusion for their customers. This closure is part of a bigger 2-phase construction project to improve the roadway. For more information on the closure and how it will affect bus routes, go to our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Waterloo Regional Police are sounding the alarm about people leaving their pets in the car on hot days. They say they've received 36 calls since June related to animals found in vehicles. Officials reminding residents that it only takes a couple of minutes for a vehicle to reach dangerous temperatures.
It does not take long for temperatures inside the vehicle to increase, especially even if, windows are cracked slightly open and an attempt is made, there's not enough of a breeze. The temperatures are way too hot. If anything is observed where a safety concern is there, it's best to have police come in and intervene. We have the tools and the resources to deal with matters like this quickly.
If you suspect someone or a pet is in danger in a hot vehicle, you should call 911 immediately. 3 Goderich parents are now app developers after launching an app last week to track disease and illnesses right across Ontario. CTV's Scott Miller has that story.
But the weekly trend is on a decrease.
Friends heading overseas recently asked mathematical epidemiologist Chapin Korosek whether it was medically safe for their young family to travel to a certain part of Europe amidst a measles outbreak. He crunched the numbers and sent them a one-page outline with the most current disease outlook, and then he started thinking.
Maybe a lot of people would like this hyper-local, active information for disease trends in their region, and then that was the spark that led to this idea.
6 months later, countless hours, and $3,000 later, Korosek, his wife Alexandra Casper, and Michael Daly, all from Goderich, launched episense.ca, a web-based app that essentially is a weather app for illness tracking, allowing people to see what the disease trends are in their specific area of the province.
We saw a lot of this during the COVID outbreak. There was lots of information available, but it's not easy to digest or understand as an everyday person. So with episense.ca, what we're trying to do is make that information accessible and easy to digest, just like a weather forecast.
You don't want to get sucked into deep analysis. You don't want to get sucked into reading 10 different sources. So the vision is really, you can wake up, you can check your episense.ca app and just see what is the real risk out there.
Right now, episense.ca is tracking measles, COVID, RSV, influenza A and B, and rhinovirus. Users input the first 3 letters of their postal code and they get a dashboard with the current status of those illnesses and which way those illnesses are trending. A Lyme disease tick tracker is under development, as well as an Ontario map with hotspots. Korosek says they're using largely public health data along with a self-reporting tool to try and have the most accurate and understandable health data available to their users.
If we can capture really severe epidemiological trends as they're happening and even get a few days lead time countrywide, then that would be a really valuable thing for society.
While the current focus of Episense is tracking health data in Ontario, the next goal would be moving on to BC and possibly across the country.
It's a solution designed by Canadians for Canadians to make them help make better decisions about their health.
It's really to be that disease decision-making tool so that you can keep your family safe.
In Goderich, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Okay, live look outside from Father David Bauer Drive this hour, Waterloo Park. Some people still cooling off. However, we are seeing some relief from that heat we saw over the course of the weekend. Currently 23 degrees in Waterloo. Alex will be back with the full forecast coming up after the break. Also ahead, Coldplay fans from around the world descend on Toronto. It's the second concert at Rogers Stadium after the inaugural show ended in chaos. What you need to know if you're making the trip. And later, the boys of summer looking for their 9th straight win. We hear from Toronto Blue Jays fans who are feeling good about the team's playoff odds. Well, Alex, it was quite the surprise stepping outside this morning.
Yes.
I think we got so used to that heat wave that we were in that when you get that little bit of relief the first time you take a step outside, you're in a bit of shock.
I know, it almost like, oh, it's a little bit cool. But we don't want to say cool because, I mean, we're in summer, full mode summer, but it was nice and refreshing, if you will.
That's a good word for it, refreshing. Not quite cool, but it felt cool.
It felt a little bit cooler. But again, it's especially with that cloud cover, depending where you were this morning, I know where we were, definitely more cloud cover earlier in the day, so that obviously made it feel a little bit cooler. And right now, as we take a live look from Waterloo, this is Father David Bauer Drive near the skate park there. Earlier, we saw a couple of kids enjoying the splash pad as well. Definitely more cloud cover starting to roll in, and that's pretty much been the story of our our day. So we've been seeing a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover, and expect it to be like that too as we get into tomorrow before we start to see a slight chance for a bit of wet weather. But when we look ahead at this week, most of the time looking pretty seasonal, which is quite nice to see. So again, a little bit of cloud cover here in Kitchener-Waterloo and surrounding areas, a little bit more of that cloud cover if you are headed north, so towards Orillia or Barrie. Maybe you have plans to hit up a cottage this week. If you are in Toronto or the Hamilton area, you could be seeing a chance for a little bit of wet weather as we get into tomorrow morning, especially, and slightly north as well. Wyerton, you may want to keep an umbrella nearby just in case. Then that's expected to clear, and again, the more cloud cover expected to roll in. So we're kind of doing a bit of that yo-yo effect when it comes to sunshine, a little bit of potential showers, and then a little bit of that cloud cover as well. By Wednesday, though, morning expected to clear once again, but it looks like we could see another system for some wet weather rolling in, but just a slight chance we're seeing at this point. So 22 degrees here in Kitchener-Waterloo right now, 21 in London. If you are by the water, though, slightly cooler, 18 in Goderich, 19 in Wyerton. And with that humidity, the humidex rather, it is feeling closer to 28 here in KW, 26 in London. Slightly warmer if you are by Lake Huron this hour. So our high today, we did reach that 25 degrees. That was around 2 o'clock or so this afternoon. We're sitting right about seasonal. This time in 1988, or this day rather, 36 degrees. That was our record high recorded, and it was 6.1 in 1942. A couple of notes we've been talking about throughout the day too. If you are an early riser, you might notice that sunrise is actually rising a little bit later by 1 minute every day or so. So that sun now rising at 5:48 a.m. and the sun setting shortly after 9 o'clock. So still plenty of evening and summer nights to enjoy before that sun goes down. So overnight 15 degrees, cloudy conditions expected. Again, mix of sun and cloud when we get into tomorrow. So mainly cloudy to start the day, but then that is expected to clear. We are expected to see a little bit more sunshine as we hit a high of 27 degrees. So over the next few days, we're kind of going to see a little bit of everything potentially. So clearing by the afternoon for tomorrow, then that slight chance of showers for your Wednesday with some cloud cover expected to roll in. Thursday, chance of showers sticking around too, but Friday's looking pretty good at this point. I know it's still a little bit of a ways away, but sunny conditions and nice and warm. For Lambton, Kenton, Essex, similar conditions in terms of seeing that chance for some precipitation for your Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday at this point. But again, potentially not a washout expected. And again, we're still early. It's only Monday, so things like to change a little bit as well for us. And for Southern Georgian Bay, chance of showers again sticking around, and it looks like Friday could be a pretty nice day for you. Sunny sky with an expected high of 27. And here is tonight's Weather Watcher picture. Paul Richards sending us this beautiful shot from Collingwood, saying South Georgian Bay never fails and providing incredible views. Beautiful, colorful sunrise too. Thank you so much for being tonight's Weather Watcher picture. And I'm pretty sure we have I don't want to say it's a duck, I'm pretty sure it's a goose too, just right in line with that sun, which is a beautiful shot. And it just looks so peaceful.
Yeah, it's picturesque with the cloud cover as well there.
Yes, and you know, being by the water too, instantly you just feel more relaxed, which is lovely.
You certainly do. I think a lot of people are on holidays last week and this week, so we should be getting some good sunset photos. And here we are.
Definitely send them. We want to see.
Yes, we do. Alex, thank you.
Thank you.
Thousands of fans are converging on Rogers Stadium in Toronto tonight as Coldplay is set to perform the first of 4 concerts. And the show comes as facility management say it has made adjustments following the first ever concert at the venue last Sunday. After that show, some fans claimed it took hours to exit the area. CTV's Raheem Ladani reports.
Lining up more than 9 hours before the gates even open, these dedicated Coldplay fans are dressed up, have traveled from around the world.
We are from Guadalajara, Mexico.
And first in line, hoping to get the perfect view of their favorite band.
We got the umbrella, we got water, snacks, washroom-wise, we did the business in the morning.
Coldplay is set to play the first of 4 shows at the new Rogers Stadium near Downsview Park in Toronto's North End. It's the venue's second concert after the inaugural show ended in chaos. Last week, people waited up to 2 hours trying to leave the stadium as 50,000 concert goers searched for nearby subway and GO train stations, overwhelming transit.
People were fainting or like falling down.
Concert promoter Live Nation Canada says, "We've made key adjustments based on fan and community feedback, including updated traffic plans with road closures, more traffic personnel on site, and enhanced signage and communication to help improve the experience for fans and the community." However, area residents say they've been left in the dark.
They're closing pretty much the main artery of our entry and exit for this neighborhood, and without any communication to us at all.
This open-air stadium is the largest purpose-built outdoor concert venue in Toronto. However, it will eventually be torn down to make way for mixed-use developments. While it is temporary, it will first play host to major acts for several more years.
It's a concert whether you want it or not. Every week, every summer for the next 5 years. How is this fair to anybody?
As Coldplay sings, lights will guide you home. Concert goers and area residents hope that guidance doesn't come with gridlock.
CTV's Rahim Ladani. Fast acting and long lasting. Still ahead on CTV News. Providing strength and pain relief using natural ingredients. We find out more about the local product in this week's Made Right Here next.
Kitchener Blues Festival returns August 7th through 10th, and CTV Kitchener wants you to be there. Enter at ctvkitchener.ca now for your chance to win a 4-pack of VIP tickets to see Burton Cummings kick off the festival August 7th.
It's a sign of the economic times. Brockville is the latest Ontario city to declare a food insecurity emergency, joining Toronto, Mississauga, and Kingston. The emergencies are in response to the growing number of people relying on food banks. CTV's Jack Richardson reports.
Because these are all stuff that's purchased.
Amanda Petch has been the general manager of the Brockville and area food bank since 2023, and since then, demand has only grown.
When I first started, it was 1 in 24 people, and now it's 1 in 13 that are using the food bank in this area, and it's just continuing to grow.
That's why the city of Brockville has become the latest Eastern Ontario municipality to declare food insecurity an emergency, calling on upper levels of government to take action.
We're trying to highlight that food insecurity is something that people in our community face every day. This is a critical issue, and it's certainly reached, I would say, an emergency level.
The average monthly visits to the Brockville Food Bank have nearly doubled in the last 2 years, from about 1,100 to about 2,000. Officials citing cost of living as the main reason.
We can't continue on this way. Charities are not the ones who are supposed to be filling that gap.
The food bank has been forced to expand its hours of service due to the skyrocketing demand, but not just because of the demand itself. It's to cater to the schedules of the new clients the food bank is seeing. According to Petch, more people with full-time jobs are making regular visits to the food bank.
That's something that we're seeing more of. People who are working who can't make ends meet because rent has gone up or bills and things like that have gone up. What it basically comes down to is that we need supports, because by the time someone's coming into the food bank, they've probably skipped a meal or two.
In January, the city of Kingston declared a food insecurity emergency, and the town of Smiths Falls did in May. Jack Richardson, CTV News, Brockville.
Let's recap our top stories tonight with CTV's Ashley Bacon live in studio with the latest. First, Ashley, on a shooting in Flamborough.
That's right, Leanne. An event at a short-term rental turned violent. One person was sent to hospital with serious injuries. Police say there were hundreds of people attending the event at a property on Highway 6 near Concession Road 6 West, but are having trouble getting people to cooperate. And it's also important to note that the incident happened at the same location of a fatal shooting shooting that took place last June. The cost of Canada Day. Waterloo Regional Police say officers made 2 arrests related to fireworks and issued 5 warnings, with the majority of the incidents they responded to were in the city of Kitchener. Police didn't give a price for additional resources, but the city of Kitchener says $20,000 was spent for extra staffing required for Canada Day, including 29 bylaw officers.
Okay, Ashley, our digital news team also working on some stories, including one about a woman who allegedly brought crystal meth to the Guelph courthouse.
That's right, Leanne. Officers allegedly say that they saw a strange bulge in her sweater while going through security. She was asked about it. She put it in the security bin. Now a 42-year-old woman is facing charges. For more information on this story, you can scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on your CT News app or to download the app right now. You can also visit our website at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Leanne.
Okay, Ashley, thanks very much. CTV's Ashley Bacon with the top stories tonight. If you've got an ache that needs soothing, this week's Made Right Here might have you covered. With topical pain relief products sold all across Canada, Kalea Health and Wellness aims to relieve pain using natural ingredients.
Hi, my name is Justin Sherritt, and I am the managing partner at Kalea Health and Wellness. We are a medically directed manufacturer of topical pain relieving products that you can find throughout Canada. Over the past 25 years, we have been proud to manufacture right here locally topical creams, gels, lotions, sprays, all geared towards treating pain, whether that be back pain, joint pain, muscle pain, and even arthritis pain. And the theory behind those products is that we choose the most natural options possible, which I think everybody can appreciate, but most importantly, it has to effectively relieve pain, and all of those products endeavor to do one thing, and that's return our customers and clients to a quality of life that they deserve that's pain-free. Without question, the Kalea 6X Extra Strength Pain Relieving Rub is our hero product within the entire Kalea range. And that 6X on the front of the tube stands for 6, either pain blocking of a natural base or anti-inflammatory ingredients, all in that one formulation. And that's really what makes that product unique compared to all the competitors on the shelf. The reactions that we get from our customers and our clients really is the reason why we get up in the morning and come to work every day here at Kalea, because it ranges from, this product does as advertised, to they didn't expect such an impact from something that you can just buy over the counter without a prescription. The fact that you're dealing with a Canadian company, we're right here in Cambridge, Ontario. We've always been in this region. We manufacture everything that you see, whether it be in Walmart's pharmacy or Shoppers Drug Mart's pharmacy or any of your local natural health retailers. All of those products were made right here, and we couldn't be more proud in the products that we make and what it's delivering to pain sufferers across the country.
Still ahead on CTV News, playing and performing. Kitchener-Waterloo's band camp is back for the summer. We meet the local talent taking the stage next.
It's Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning.
3 awesome people that want to start your day or finish your overnight shift.
You'll laugh, you'll text, you'll call, you'll scratch your head, and maybe even beat Backstage Ben. Weekday mornings from 5:30 to 10.
Listen live on the iHeartRadio app or at 105.3 Virgin Radio.
The Toronto Blue Jays will be looking for their 9th straight win tonight when they begin a series with the Chicago White Sox. The team's recent hot streak has vaulted them into first place in the AL East and has people feeling pretty good about their playoff odds. CTV's Mike Walker has been talking to fans.
The Toronto Blue Jays continue to dominate on the diamond, extending their winning streak to 8 games and their first place lead in the AL East.
Fantastic. They finally started hitting to go along with the pitching. The bullpen looks good.
The Blue Jays capped off a 7-game homestand, sweeping the Angels and division rivals New York Yankees. After a slow start to the season, many fans stocking up on Blue Jays gear say they are surprised by this turnaround.
This team, we haven't been expected to win. They're certainly playing well above their heads.
I thought it was going to be similar to last year, right, where they just weren't producing. But this year they seem to be doing, especially with the injuries they've had.
This father and son attended the series against the Angels.
We got some young blood coming up through. It's promising mid-season form.
With just 6 games until the All-Star break, the Jays currently have 52 wins. 1 win shy of the team record before the break. The Jays pulled off 53 wins in 1985 and 1992.
Nixon bunts.
The latter, the first of back-to-back World Series championships, something Jays fans are reminiscing about.
I'm old enough to remember the 92-93 teams and how great a ride that was. This is another one of those years that could be magical.
Very different teams. The 92 and 93 teams were full of superstars and guys that ended up being Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Hey, it'd be great if this group has a few of those guys as well.
Last year, the Blue Jays had a losing record at home. This year, they're 32-16.
TSN's Matt Cause attributes the success to a rebound season for players like George Springer and Bo Bichette, while others are stepping up in place of Andres Jimenez, Anthony Santander, and Dalton Varsho, who are all out with injuries.
The veteran players playing better and are healthy, and young guys doing more than we expected.
The club record for the longest winning streak is 11 games, something the Jays have achieved on 5 occasions, but haven't pulled off since August 2015. But while riding the current wave of success, fans are looking beyond this winning streak.
Going to be a lot of fun to see. We hope so. I think they're going to have to do some work around their pitching staff.
Have to beat the teams in your division, especially in this case where, there's no real strong team running away with it.
For now, fans can only hope the momentum will continue.
We have more news coming up. First, let's check in with Alex.
Cooler and more comfortable compared to the weekend. We'll take a look at how your morning is looking and wake up weather coming up. Here's your Monday night lineup. At 7 o'clock, it's E-Talk before The Big Bang Theory. Then at 8, it's American Ninja Warrior before The Rookie.
Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
Okay, let's check back in with Ashley for a look at what we're working on tonight.
Well, Canada-wide warrant has been issued for 38-year-old Joshua Finnemore. He is wanted in relation to a stabbing that took place in Kitchener yesterday. Police say he is considered armed and dangerous. Also tonight, the Blair Memorial Flute Band from Northern Ireland is in Guelph celebrating their 50th anniversary with a tour around the region, including stops in St. Jacobs, Niagara Falls, and Toronto. These stories and more at 11:30. Leanne.
Okay, Ashley, thanks very much. And Alex, one last check on the forecast. I know you mentioned we could see some wet weather along the way this week.
Yeah, later this week, but at least for overnight into tomorrow, it's looking pretty good. We were saying how it's nice and refreshing and pretty nice morning to start the day. So if you're going to be heading out, pretty much mix of sun and clouds sticking with us from 6 right through until 10. But by 10 o'clock, we're going to be hitting about 22 degrees. So feeling a little bit warmer, but again, definitely not feeling like it did during the weekend when that heat, that humidity, it just felt so sticky out there, and it did feel closer to 40. So we are seeing this as a little bit of relief, and hopefully it stays like this.
Yeah, we're set for a gorgeous Tuesday.
We are. Region. Not too bad.
All right, finally for us, band camp is back in Kitchener-Waterloo, thanks to not-for-profit group Bandology.
The program teaches kids how to play, perform, and create their own music. CTV's Alexandra Hollick now with the sights and sounds of the Summer Camp Symphony.
Go. From boomwhackers to bass clarinet, band camp has something for everyone.
You can play all the instruments you want.
The camp is run by Bandology, a not-for-profit group with a focus on music education and development.
We have kids from grade 1 to grade 12. So the younger kids do a whole variety of music activities while the teenagers form a band, and they'll have a concert at the end of the week.
The program features a wide range of talent.
For our older kids, the teenagers, they're part of a band. So what they're doing is they're bringing in the instrument they've played this past year at school. But the little kids, they can come in with no experience whatsoever.
It's Felix Fang's second year at camp. The 9-year-old band member plays the euphonium.
It's like a tuba, but a bit smaller.
It's not the only unique instrument in the ensemble. While Rafaela Debro Silva typically plays the piano, she decided to try her hand at the glockenspiel.
It's really similar because they're both keys, so you're hitting the keys.
The younger group hits the scales, literally.
3, 2, 1, perfect. 3, 2, 1, quick. 3, 2, 1, brighter.
Nice! It's really fun. I like the percussion.
All building up to Friday's grand finale.
We'll have a couple of different types of performances. So our teenage band is working on 4 or 5 different pieces. In fact, one of them is a brand new composition.
And whether the kids are new or have been coming to camp for a couple years, they all share a similar note to those at home.
It's really fun, and you should really come.
Go for it. Just be prepared to play a lot of music.
After this week, band camp takes its musical stylings to Halton before rounding out the summer in Guelph during the last week of July. Alexandra Holick, CTV News, Kitchener.
I was waiting for Alexandra to pick up an instrument and show us what she learned.
Next time.
Yeah. Well, they do sound very good, and some very talented youth there for sure. We obviously have to talk about band.
We sure do.
Did you play in band?
Not in band, but I played instruments later in elementary school. What did I do? I did clarinet.
Okay.
Started the clarinet, then I moved over to flute. Since I was a kid, though, I was playing the piano, and then at one point in my life, I had an electric guitar.
Nice! I picture you jamming out on the electric guitar.
It was not good. I was
Did you take lessons?
Yeah, I tried.
I love that. I want to see you play the electric guitar.
Flute? No.
No? No, not flute.
Trumpet?
Okay, so I started, get this, with the French horn.
Oh my gosh.
And I had to walk to school with the instrument. It was so big and so heavy. I think I played it for a year, and then I was like, no, I want to play the clarinet.
Yep.
Because it was too much to walk to school with the French horn.
Yeah, the smaller instruments, they transport a little better.
Yeah. Also piano as well, pretty much my whole childhood.
Go us.
So much fun. All right, we'll leave it there. Tell us what instruments you've played. Have a good night.
Take care.